latest Instagram features has just been announced. More changes are coming to Instagram, your favorite social media platform, including the highly requested repost feature. We know that you guys have been asking for that, and including a few others that we can't wait to talk about. So let's discuss three new Instagram updates you need to know. In this video, we're covering Instagram new updates and how to use Instagram updates, tips, and potential content ideas, including answering what do we think about this new Instagram feature and how do we plan on using them ourselves in our own content strategy. So let's get into it today as we help you, as always, step your gram up in the best way possible on the latest episode of the Social Roundtable. Welcome, guys. Happy Monday. I hope everybody's doing well today, no matter where you are. We are so glad that you jumped in today to join us on this latest episode of the Social Roundtable. We got a good one for you guys because we're talking about the latest features on Instagram. We know you've come across them in many posts, some kind of controversial, some really exciting. We're going to get into all of it today. And as always, I'm joined by my incredible co-host, Meagen. What's going on, Meagen?
Hello, hello. How's it going today? So excited for today's discussion. I know there's been so much buzz going on Instagram about these updates over the past week or so. So we have lots to dive into, and I am super excited to introduce everybody to Michelle. Michelle is here joining us from Scotland, correct?
Yep,
Is
Scotland,
Oh
sunny
my
Scotland.
God. Yes, so excited to have you here. And if you are new to Michelle and her content, she helps female founders scale their business online and grow with their social media and make their business work into their life and really reach the ideal clients. So we are so grateful for you. If you could take a moment to say hello, introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, yeah, I'm so happy to be here, to be back here. It's been a year since I've been on one of these
Yeah.
roundtables, but yeah, Megan summed it up perfectly. I help businesses to scale using organic social media, so I'm really excited to dive into these topics today. I know they have all been hot on Instagram, so I'm really excited to share our insights, hear what other people have to say about it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, yes, as you kind of hinted at, you've been on the Social Roundtable before, and we're so glad to have you join us once again as a guest. And about this particular topic, these three new features that just came out, because like I said earlier, a lot of people have some type of emotion towards it, whether it's good, bad, positive, or negative. We might express some of that here during our conversation. We want to hear from you guys watching as well. We know that you guys have a lot to say also, whether you're catching a replay or watching live. We are so thankful you are here. This is the Social Roundtable. Myself and Megan do this every week, and we are joined by our special guest, Michelle. And if you have never seen an episode from us, we want you to stay along for this one as well as future ones. So please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channels so you won't miss any other episodes, including conversations like this. Three new Instagram features and updates that you need to know. We're going to get into it right now. If you have any questions, please go ahead and post them in the live chat. It is open. I even have a poll right there open right now for you guys to go ahead and check it out yourself. If you want to actually put in your answer to the poll, we'll love to see what you guys think. The question is at the moment, which new Instagram feature are you most excited for? And I list all three of them there, but we're going to talk about them right now, starting with let's start with Friends Feed. That's the one that I think may have not caused the most uproar. Maybe even some people may have even forgot about it because technically when they announced it a couple months back. What they've announced this week was more of an update. Instagram recently introduced, for those that don't know, they introduced three new features just last week: Friends Feed, Friends Map, and Repost. And kind of like I said, one of them went rather unnoticed. One caused a significant uproar, and one was happily welcomed with open arms. We're talking about the one that kind of went unnoticed, which was the Friends Feed. So I want to ask you, we're going to talk about these particular features. Same question applies to each feature. So let's talk about Friends Feed first. And Michelle, I want to ask you first,
Mhm.
what do you think about this new Instagram feature update, Friends Feed? And how has your circle of followers and following responded to the latest update?
So for me, I know that this has been around in the US a bit longer, but for me it was new. Like we
Mhm.
haven't had it before. I think the way that I see it, the friends feed is more as more of an insight tool than anything. It's not really like a posting feature. I think it can be good as a creator or as a business owner so that you can see what type of content your followers are, or like the people that you're connected with are creating, liking, and commenting on. So it can help you to give you insights for your own strategy, or just, yeah, it's like a mini trend radar, I suppose. Like if you look at it like that way, like what's performing well on the platform and things right now. I don't really think there's been much chat about anyone talking about it. I'm not sure that anyone in my audience is particularly using it. I know that I'm not, but I think if you were to use it, you could use it for like market research. You could help with like content themes or hooks. I know for me, like I tend to help a lot of my one-to-one clients with their content strategy, so it could be useful for me because I follow all of my clients to see what's maybe working in their niche right now, what people are engaging with, what people are resharing. So yeah, it's not something that I'm probably going to use myself. It's not something that I was like, oh my god, yay, it's finally here. But I think you could. It can be useful if you use it strategically.
Yeah, I think you caught the sentiment even on our side of the pond in the way in regards to some audience members. But maybe Megan might be different. Maybe her audience responded very positively. I would love to know, how is your audience responding to it, Megan? And just the idea of this new friends feed. How did it hit you when you heard about it? Because we've had it for a couple months now, I believe.
Yes, yeah, we have. And I even back then, I don't think it was really mentioned much. I almost feel like it was something that people kind of accidentally found. Like they were like, "Oh, what are these? Like, why are my friends'
Yeah.
circles up here?" Like, and then they would click it. And I haven't heard much at all from my audience about this. It's kind of funny. I do have to point out the irony because so many people complain. I don't see my people that I follow their posts,
Yeah.
or people who follow me don't see my posts. But now that we have that option, nobody really cares and nobody's using it. So I just don't know if enough people are aware of it, or the fact that it's not like the default one. People probably
Mhm.
just get on and naturally scroll. They don't think, oh, let me switch what I'm viewing. So
I definitely agree with you in regards to that, because I think we're all sharing pretty much the same sentiment here in regards to how people have responded to this latest news. We're talking about the Friends feed right now. For those that are just now tuning in, the Friends feed is something that they have announced in the United States, I want to say a few months back, and they've just released it globally last week to everybody else. And even before they released it to everybody else, I got to say, in the US, not many people really spoke about it. I rarely use it. Maybe the week that it came out, I tried it out. As with most features on Instagram, when it comes out, maybe the first week or two, you want to try it out, see if it's something that you would actually adopt into your own strategy or routine, and it just never made the cut to me. It was something I said, "Oh, okay, that's cool," and I never went back. I honestly forgot that not only did it exist, that we were the only ones in the US that had it. I had no idea. I thought everybody else had it and just didn't care about it. But here we are. It's out there in the world right now. Um, I haven't really played around with it since they announced it again. I mean, other than for the purposes of this very live that we're doing right now to discuss it, I said, "Oh, okay, they changed something small about it, but it's still the same thing." And I think most people is just gonna kind of forget about it in the long run. I haven't realized. While checking it out, I have to say I haven't realized how many people still use notes, and it's making the cut onto other people's content, and I was very surprised at that. I did not know that notes was still so popular. I've stopped using notes to leave messages on people's content, but I've noticed it a lot. So maybe that's something that might put a little bit more shine on that feature, this new feed. I have no idea.
Mhm.
well, I was wondering, I know we're going to talk about this in a minute, but because you brought that up, when I went and reposted something, it came up as like a, hey, do you want to put a note on this? Like it made it a point to
Really?
say, do you want
Oh.
to add something here? And it was a note, not a comment. So I'm wondering if everyone reposting is starting to get more people to leave notes.
That is a really great point. I didn't really think about that. So that's interesting, the way that now how reposts can be fueling into this friends feed and vice versa. That's really kind of
Mhm.
smart. That's a really great observation, Megan. Awesome. But it is the friends feed. I mean, like I said, many people were aware of it. I think most weren't. Depends on how you guys are going to use it. And speaking of how you're going to use it, I want to kind of go to that question next in regards to this feature, Friends Feed. Michelle, I'll bring it back to you again in regards to Friends Feed. Do you plan on using it at all in the future? And is there any social media tips you'd like to share relative to this feature?
I mean, I think I sort of covered it when I'd answered the first question. If I was going to use it, which I haven't really planned on, it would more be for like market research to see what are people
Mm,
enjoying. Because on the friends feed, you can see things that they've reposted, engaged with, content that they're sharing as well. So it can be good for like a market research from a business perspective, but it's not high up on my to-do list of things that I'm probably going to be using on Instagram, if I'm honest. But if you were to use it, my advice would be you could use it to help you with your own strategy, to see what people are engaging with and how you can maybe take inspiration for your own content.
yeah, that's a good one. Megan, I think you're probably in the same boat as well. Not going to use it as much.
Yeah, I probably won't use it that much. Something that I could see a benefit. I just don't think I'll remember to even use it, but maybe if I wanted to really like focus on engaging more with the people that I really know I love their content, then maybe I would go to that feed and, just solely for I'm here to engage, not necessarily learn or get inspiration, which is kind of opposite of what Michelle was
Mhm.
I can
saying.
see
I
that.
think I would use it a little differently. Or if I didn't have a personal page and I was only one page of my business, then I might use it that way. So I could kind of, use Instagram differently. But for me, I use two different accounts for two different things.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think your use of it the way you just described, it's gonna be most people if they use it at all. But
Mhm.
hey, that's Friends Feed. We had to talk about it because it was one of the three major features that Instagram did announce last week. So what you do with that, that's up to you. You might use it more than us. Hopefully so. Hopefully this is not one of those features that we hear Instagram says they get rid of in the future, if it's actually being used. On to our next feature that Instagram announced. We'll talk about one that was a little bit just a smidge controversial when it was announced. And I still think the controversy is still going on in regards to the information going on out there. We're going to be talking about Friends Map. So it's interesting. Kind of give a little description of what Friends Map is. They've came out with this new map. You could find it, I believe, in the inbox, where you have the notes. As we were talking about notes earlier, you have your friends' notes. It's in that area, and it's a little circle that has a map location. So when you click on that, it opens up an actual in real time map of wherever you are, and you start to see different pieces of content where they were believed to be posted. So the controversy came out that some people's live locations were being shared on the map in real time, and a lot of those locations may have been people's actual personal homes. I haven't experienced this myself, but I would love to know what you guys, first off, what do you guys think about this feature, this new Friends map? As well as how has your circle, your own circle of followers and following responded to this Instagram news? I want to pose this question to you first, once again, Michelle. What do you think about this feature and how has your circle responded to it?
I don't like it. But and I think that's been a lot of people's. It's like Instagram's turning into Snapchat. That's the only place I ever remember it from was being able, and I was a ghost there. I'm sure it was ghost mode if you didn't want to be seen it. I don't have Snapchat now. My daughter does, but I don't. But it's yeah, it has been very controversial in terms of people being happy about it. I've seen a lot of people commenting that they're, even though they haven't opted in, because it's supposed to be that you can opt in to share your location, and I've seen that people
Correct.
have saying even though they haven't opted in, their location has been shared and they're not happy about it. So yeah, it's causing a bit of an uproar, I would say. Yeah, it's not. I've not seen that many positive comments about it, if I'm honest.
No, no, I completely understand that. And it seems like that might be the majority. I don't know. Maybe Megan might change our minds in regards to that. Maybe you like this feature and maybe your own audience has responded positively. How has your side of Instagram been responding to this new Friends map?
I mean, I've only seen negative comments, honestly. And I haven't had many conversations with people in my audience besides like other people within similar industries. Everyone pretty much is feeling the same. I know there's some people who are like, I could see how it's beneficial. I could see how um, it could be cool, but it's not like something they're super excited about. Like this is what they've been waiting for. I think that to me personally, I'm like, if I wanted to share my location, like they would have my phone number and I would do it, iPhone share
Yeah.
location. And like that's how I do it with my girlfriends. That's how I do it with my husband. Like I share my location with people already who have my number. So I don't really see the point, but hey, I don't know.
Well, it seems to be the same all around, and unfortunately, I have to say or report back about my own audience. They are not happy at all. These are an audience. It's an audience of creators, business owners, and those that just regularly use it. And nobody has come out and said anything positive. Honestly, I feel like I may have been the only person that said something positive about it because at the heart of it, I actually do like the feature. I think that there is a good reason and purpose behind Instagram stealing. I'm sorry, I mean borrowing this feature from Snapchat. So I think there was good purpose behind it. I definitely believe they released it the wrong way. For one thing, this feature should not have come out with other features. This is a feature because of its relevancy to user private data. It should have come out on its own. That's one of the first things I got to say about this release. The second thing is we should have been told ahead of time it was coming. I think this is one of those features we shouldn't have been caught by surprise. And I feel like, unfortunately, Instagram does that with most of their features. There's usually a rumor or, somebody might have said something that they may have come across, but they've never come out and said, this feature is coming so and so date. And I think that that's maybe this might sting them in a way that they might have to change their ways because this is definitely the type of feature we should have been aware of. And I feel like if we were aware of, I'm not saying that would have got rid of the controversy. I feel like that would have prepared us to at least say, okay,
Yeah.
I know how and where to look to change the settings. It was like a madhouse the week of in regards to people sharing different information, whether right or whether wrong, and it just caused more chaos to me in that aspect. And
Yeah.
there was one more other thing I wanted to share in regards to how they did it. Better information. Because once again, we ended up depending on everybody else's information or experience with it. And one person's, mindset in regards to it might be a little bit contrived. They might feel a way about it. So when you get that information, it's going to make you feel a certain way about it, but it might
Yeah.
not be the right way of getting and using the map. So I hope that they take this release as a lesson to do better in the future. I've always thought that their releases were not the best, but this was definitely the worst that they've had in regards to announcing a feature that I thought was actually a good feature. It needed
Mhm.
more work, but I feel like there are good ways that you can utilize it. Like I've one of the great things about it, I mean, I was thinking from a local point of view, like creating scavenger hunts. You do like a contest or something that way, like a radio station would do a scavenger hunt in a city or a neighborhood. Like, I feel like that would be awesome use of it, where you could actually use the map and post content and have people go around and find it. But
It
there is
reminds me of
still
like
always
Pokemon Go. Remember
yeah,
that?
that's a good one.
Go and find a
Yes, that's
Pokemon.
a great example. That's a great example. There was a whole when that came out. I mean, people were on their phones. I used to see people walking in the streets looking at their phone. Like you could easily tell these are the people playing Pokemon. I used to have a group of
I did
kids walking in the streets
it.
doing that. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun activity, especially around the time when it came out. You
Yeah.
needed to kind of get out and just have a little bit of fun. Maybe there's still some type of way that Instagram can utilize that, or we the users can do that, but it's got hit with that controversy so hard that I don't know if people are trying to look at the good sides of it. So we'll see what happens in the future. We would
Yeah.
love to know though. We always want to know from the audience what they're thinking about these certain features, and I'm sure Megan has a question that you have lined up for them.
Yeah, well, that's I was going to ask actually. Have people heard about this feature? Do you like it? Thumbs up. Do you not like it? Thumbs down. If you have, mixed feelings, let us know. Let's have the conversation about it because I think that has brought some good points there. I mean, there's some good intention, could be used in a good way for certain things. Just maybe was released the wrong way, and it's not for everybody. Just like people choose to have private accounts instead of public accounts, they choose to post trial reels instead of reels on their feed, they choose to, whatever they're doing, linking their Facebook or threads or email. We all have different options, and it's going to be different for everyone and how they want to use it.
Absolutely. So if you guys go ahead, please, and answer that question. Thumbs up or thumbs down in regards to this feature. We're talking about Friends Map. We've seen a lot of thumbs down on Instagram and a few other places already. We want to know what you guys are thinking in regards to it, as well as, once again, just in case you are joining us late, this is the Social Roundtable. It is myself and Megan. We host this every week to discuss most of the topics that you want to learn more about in regards to social media, marketing, content creation, and so much more. And we do this every week with a special guest. And today we are so glad to be joined by Michelle, who is joining us from over the pond, as we sometimes like to say. So it's about 5 hours ahead of us right now, but we're so glad that she's able to join us on this conversation all about the 3 latest Instagram updates. We just covered Friends Feed. We spoke about the little bit of controversy in regards to Friends Map, but now hopefully we could go to something a little bit more positive, something that was a little bit more welcomed by the audience. We want to talk a little bit more about the highly sought after feature, Repost, because it is something that a lot of people have been asking about for a long time. And Instagram played nice. They once again borrowed another feature from another platform. This time the clock app, was TikTok. So this feature came out. I did not see much uproar about it personally. If quite the opposite. I think I might have been the only one that was a little disappointed in the feature when it came out, because in my opinion, I think that Repost might just be helping, or let's just say increasing the problem that Instagram already has, which is a supply and demand problem, particularly when it comes to Reels. There is so much real content created, and there's only an X amount of users on Instagram. I feel like Reels are daily. There are more Reels created than there are users on the platform. And I think that becomes a problem for us as content creators, because when there's so much competition, our content doesn't get seen. That's why we've been complaining about reach. Reach is such a hard issue, particularly with Reels. You create this content. If you have like 10,000 followers and only 5% see your audience, even usually much lower,
Yeah.
you start to get to a point where, why am I creating this type of content? I'm sure you guys have had issues as well with Reels as well, not performing as well as they should have. If you have an audience of 1,000 people, why don't at least 50% of those people see your content? And I've had this problem with Reels before they introduced trial Reels. Trial Reels to me exploded that problem. But I think now Repost, although it has a lot of great advantages, I still feel like it's just added on to that problem, and it's making it even easier to add to that problem, because now I just simply hit a button and I've added more Reels to the demand already, or I should say more opportunity, because it's not another Reel, but I'm adding another Reel to take the spot of maybe the content I was going to create. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it in a weird way. Hopefully, you guys can bring me back to the bright, positive side. But I want to go to you first, Michelle, in regards to this. Um, it's a brand new feature. We're talking about Repost. I want to know, what do you think about this new Instagram feature update? Maybe it's a little bit more positive than myself. And once again, how has your audience been responding to it?
So, of all 3, I think it's the best of the 3 that we're
Okay.
talking about today. And I think there's benefits. Like, listening to what you're saying, like, I've never really thought about it from the perspective that you have, and when you put it the way that you did, then it makes perfect sense that I know what you mean, in terms of it's not really going to help the problem that people already have right now, and the ability to put out content even faster, um, and probably quicker, just by using the repost button. So we're going to still have that issue when it comes to reaching things, but at the same time, it's also a good way, I think, for people to keep high value content alive for longer. Maybe if you're using it for your own content and reposting it for things that have maybe performed before, it's easier from a repurposing perspective. I've seen positive comments for this one, but not maybe as many as I would have expected for something that people have maybe asked for a while. Like I know before, like reposting was really only for, like, you could only really do it to stories where content maybe only lived for 24 hours,
Yeah.
whereas now it'll live longer in the feed. So I think that's another benefit for it. But again, I can't say I've seen that many people in my audience really screaming or shouting about it and thinking, oh yeah, I'm glad it's here. But the feedback that I have seen has been more positive than the others, particularly the maps.
Well, that is definitely good to hear, because I think if we had got, the friends feed, nobody heard about it, and then two other features responded negatively, Instagram might have to restart rethinking their features once
The
again.
features.
Megan, how about you in regards to this new feature? We're talking about reposts right now, the brand new Instagram feature that was just announced. Megan, how have your audience responded to it, and what are your thoughts on it as well?
Well, I haven't heard much from my audience, but I think a lot of people are more likely to test it and play around with it, and they're more keen on it than the Friends map. I've gone to pages that have like extremely viral posts and seen that they already have a ton of reposts on some of their stuff, which is incredible. So people are using it,
Really?
particularly on like quotes. So really viral quotes. People want to
Oh,
reshare quotes on their stories. Those are the posts of mine usually that get the most shares on stories, is quotes. And so I can imagine, that's kind of going forward. I'm going to play around with that strategy a bit of doing different styles of quotes and, carousels with different lines or little reminders, stuff that people want to share to also be seen as that like light or inspiration or leader. They get that little like credibility because they are connected
yeah.
to that type of content too.
Mhm.
So I never have thought of it the way you shared, Heston, actually, and I can see how that could be an issue we run into. But I almost see that it might be, like Michelle said, it creates an opportunity for us to have high value content last longer, have a longer shelf life. And I think it will help people once you find a new page. If you go to the page, like stuff that they've reposted, and you like all of that stuff too, I think it's just going to make you feel more connected with that person. Like we have similar interests. We both like to consume that type of content. And I like you more because of what you like.
Mhm.
That's a really okay. I'm gonna say I still hold my reservations, but I think you guys have gave me a lot more positivity of an outlook in regards to this feature. You guys definitely have, and I think that you've hit a lot of great points in regards to how creators specifically, the ones that are creating this content, can really take it as an advantage. That shelf life, I never really considered the fact that it now lasts longer, which is very ideal. And I feel like Instagram is making a lot of moves in regards to making content last longer. Just last month, they've worked out that deal with Google where your content can be found from a Google search, which to me,
Mhm.
that's the prime way of sticking around. That is how a lot of YouTube videos stick around for years.
Yeah.
Now our content on Google can have a little bit of that same aspect, but from an in-platform aspect, this repost feature can do the same in many ways. And as you guys are saying, it does increase discovery. It does make people feel like they can relate to us a little bit more. Maybe that might motivate them to follow us. So I love y'all outtake on it. I haven't heard anybody speak about it like that, and I feel like that's a really great way that the audience, those of you guys that are watching, should consider the new Instagram feature of repost quotes. I had to write that one down as you wrote it, as you mentioned it, because I never thought of that, and it's such a great one. Like I don't know, did you have anything else to add to what Megan said, Michelle, in regards to reposts?
No, not really. I mean, I think for me, one of the biggest things, like when it comes to content creation, that I find with my audience or my clients is thinking that you always have to come up with new ideas. And I really like it for the feature of being able to repurpose your content easily without having to go and recreate it, because you can just repost it now.
Yeah.
But no, I think both of you gave really valid points on why it can be useful and why it can. But no, I don't really think there's anything else I have to add. I think I need to play around with it a bit more because it's relatively new and I've
Yeah.
not really used it that much myself. But Other than, really, I think it's just really be utilized for people reposting highly shareable viral content in order to try and leverage that reach for themselves, is how I see people using it, which again is going to create that problem that you've said, Heston, where there's just all this even more content because it's so much easier to get it out there. So I think it will be something that we'll need to try and test and see how it goes.
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
we'll see how it goes.
Something that before we move on here that I instantly thought about when the repost came out was I thought about what X posts and Threads posts get reposted the most, get shared the most, and that's I think the framework to really start to implement. And those are the quotes, yes, those impactful statements, but also the ones that are like, here's 11 things your iPhone can do that you didn't know, like the listicles that lists could also be something that could really do well, or infographics. I mean, people probably aren't going to be reposting other people's selfies unless I don't know, some famous person, but what value can they share?
Yeah, I suppose if you look at it from
point.
Oh, sorry.
No, go right ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, I suppose when you look at it from the other angle as well, if you are creating like the listicles, the quotes and things, then your content could be the one that's being reposted and you're getting that extra visibility because people are resharing your content. So it's not just about how you can use someone else's, but also what can you create in order to be that person that people are reposting all the time and getting that additional visibility.
Yeah, I want to be reposted. That's my new goal.
Yeah.
Who cares about shares and saves? I want reposts.
No. Another metric.
It's so funny. That is so funny you said that, because when this came out on my list, I said, okay, I have to now test shares and reposts, because it is another metric. Just as you said, Michelle, it's another metric. Or is it the same? I don't know how they're actually really considering yet. I haven't seen it in insights. I had two questions. I was able to solve one. I figured it out. I always go towards, the idea of DM automation and is it going to work? I did a test from one account. I reposted from my social varsity account. And then from a second or third account, I interacted with the reposted content. So I could confirm ManyChat works on reposted content, no matter who reposted. The original creator, ManyChat still works, which that's great.
That's
so
huge.
If 100 people, if 100 people repost a piece of content that has a ManyChat automation tied to it, it'll all work as if it's all from this one original creator.
Wow.
So that is a major thing that I think a lot of people have. I haven't heard anybody speak about it yet. Consider this breaking news if you want, but your ManyChat automation will work if it's reposted. The second thing, which I have not tested. Yes.
I want to make sure I understand. If you post something, you use the keyword automation, and I repost it, your automation will work on my repost for whatever purpose. Wow,
yes.
that is so cool.
Yes. Which now opens my other question, because we've tested this before, Meagen. Meagen and myself, every week when we do one of these lives, we like to create a carousel and it'll feature clips from this carousel. Now, when we do that, we generally send it out as a collab which in this case would be for Michelle. So she could decide to collaborate on it. The question is now, should Michelle join as a collaborator, or should she just repost, and which one will get more views and more reach?
Ooh.
And I think that's something that a lot of people have to start testing now. We might actually do this ourselves, since this is news of it, and we're talking about this on this topic. We might do this next Monday, which is when our carousel will come out. But I think it's something that people should test, because we've tested, Meagen and I have tested collabs before. They do not give you the greatest results that you might think. It's not as if, let's say all three of us had 100,000 followers, so that would be 300,000 in total. Do not believe that. First off, you're never reaching 300,000, 100% of your audience. But the percentage that you would get is so minimal compared to what you think. If we all had 300,000, I want to say on average, you probably might reach 10,000 views, if even, from that collab post. But maybe this repost might change the game in a different way that we haven't considered yet. So I think a lot of people should go out there and start testing this, and we'll test it out with our collab or repost maybe next week.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it seems like we're all excited for this repost. We definitely spoke about it the longest, and I think a lot of you guys will be excited about the possibilities of this repost. But nonetheless, just want to kind of summarize what we just discussed. This were the 3 latest Instagram features that they just announced last week. Some are controversial, some are highly excited, and some are very forgettable, but all important to the Instagram algorithm, the system overall, and to its users. We spoke about Friends Feed, Friends Map, and Reposts. And I'm sure that a lot of you guys have some favorites, maybe some that aren't your favorite. Go ahead and put that in the live chat, or if you're watching the replay, put it in the comments. We would love to know what you guys are thinking as you guys take some of the information that we shared in regards to these brand new features and move forward with them and step into the best way by putting the best foot forward and step your gram up. We're going to move over now to a little game that we like to play. Michelle is no stranger. She's been here before. She knows that we like to play a little game with our host, I should say with our co-host, and especially our guests, but also you guys watching also. So if you're watching in the live chat, this is your opportunity to join us with the game. Go ahead and put your answers there. And if you're watching the replay, obviously you can share your answer in the comments. Meagen is going to lead us. So Meagen, what do you have in store for us? I don't know the questions. So let's see what Meagen has in store for us, Michelle.
Awesome. All right. So simple game of would you rather. I'm going to give you 2 options, A or B, and then let us know in the comments, would you rather A or B? And then we'll go around the room here as well. So first one, would you rather A, lose all of your followers, but keep all of your content? Or B, lose all of your past content, but keep all of your followers? Michelle.
Wow.
Oh, I think I would rather lose all of my content because I think I remember it. I can make that again, but but Instagram is much busier than it used to be in terms of the number of creators on the platform. How it's more challenging now. As much as like you can still grow on Instagram, I wouldn't pretend that it's not more difficult than it used to be. So to grow again, nah. I'd get rid of the content.
I'm good on that one.
Yeah, no.
I felt like Michelle may have just envisioned the idea of actually doing that. She was like, nah, not for me.
Not for me.
Not
no.
here for that. Oh gosh, Heston, what would you say?
I am in total agreement with Michelle because if anything, I thought about that same process. Like that is, I don't care how much content you've already created. If it's 50, if it's 5,000 pieces of content, that is a lot of work for you to go back and do. But those followers that you've actually accrued over that time were harder to possibly get. And let's face it, we repost our own content anyway. We might be doing it now more than ever with the repost feature. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not hesitant against, reposting my content if I'm forced to, because I don't have it anymore. So yeah, definitely that one.
Guys, I don't even know what I would say here because I go back sometimes, and even if it's just 2 months ago, I'm like, I posted that, I created that. Like I just create so much that sometimes I forget. And obviously when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. If I had to like create new, I wouldn't ever be able to remember all the stuff I did. And I think we have so much genius that we don't really appreciate because we post it and then look at the metrics instead of really look at, what content we put out there. So I don't know. It's
True.
exciting to think about starting fresh, but also like wouldn't want to lose what I've done.
I would happily lose some of what I've done when I look back 2 years ago. That can go if it wants.
Yeah, the real older
when
stuff.
I go right back to the start, that can go if it likes. I'm fine with that.
Yes. Honestly, like sometimes even when I go back and it is cringe, I'm like, oh, I created that. It's so good to be part of your story. It's like,
yeah,
great to show. I don't know. It's hard. I don't even know if I want to give an answer, but that's not fair. I make everyone else give an answer. I guess I would choose to lose my content, but I'm going to go in and download all of my content
just in case.
Just in case.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Can I ask something? This might change the answer. Meagen is aware that I'm doing this, so I have to give you guys a little backstory. I have downloaded a list of all of my followers. I have about a little over 10,000 followers. I have been going through that list um, every day, determining who is active, who's not. I would tell you right now, and I will be sharing this information in the future once I'm done. I would tell you
Mhm.
right now, with 10,000 followers, and I'll be halfway there tomorrow. I am noticing that more than half of my audience is inactive. And
Oh.
I think that this applies to everybody. Half of my audience is inactive. They haven't posted in more than 2 years. Some are a good amount is private. I mean, and I'm keeping track of all the numbers. With that applied to that question, if you know that your audience is half of them is probably inactive or fake or private, would you still choose content to get rid of?
Mm.
No.
Ooh.
No. Do you know, it's so funny because, like, I've said that I want to do that with my own audience. And to be honest, maybe you need to tell me how you did that because I don't know how to do that. Go download the
Sure.
whole list and do that. Or
I
maybe
have a
it's just
post
that I don't
about it.
want to do it. You've got a post about it. But maybe it's just that I don't want to do it. But I definitely know that from when I started my account to when it is now, I know there's a lot of people in there because I used to engage with a lot of these people as well, and then they've
Mhm.
vanished. They're not there anymore. I don't see them, but their accounts are still there. I know that I would probably be shocked at how many people in my audience are maybe inactive now, and it would be good to know that number. But if that was the case, and it was definitely out of 40,000 followers, half of them aren't even there, then maybe I would be okay with starting my audience again because maybe it would grow much quicker
Mm,
because the people are there engaging with your content.
yes. Yes.
Hmm.
So true. That's a great question, Heston. I don't know. I think that I don't know what I would choose now because I feel like it's
I
such a
finally
She was
stumped you on one
already
of these
finding it
questions.
hard.
because you also think like if I knew then what I know now about growing, like yes, I would make more of a point to engage with every single new follower. Like I'd really try to make real connections so I remember them, they remember me. Um,
Hmm.
but back, 2 years ago when I had the biggest amount of my growth, I tried to engage with people, but
Yeah.
you really, once you have
You just can't.
bursts, yeah, it's hard. So maybe starting fresh would be fun. Maybe I'd choose that. You got me thinking about it, Heston.
Also
Oh,
awesome. Finally, I stumped you on one of these questions because you get me every week.
not fair. It's not fair. It's supposed to be my thing every week. Well, thank you for those answers. Second question here. Would you rather A, have to post the same type of content every single day, or B, never be able to repeat a type of content ever again?
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Granted, I know you'll run out of types of content. Throw that away. Like, just pretend.
That's a
Michelle.
hard question.
I mean, I would probably rather. I would probably rather post this. What was the second one?
To
So
be able
post the
to,
same content all the time, or
or never be able to repeat the same type.
I would probably prefer to post the same content all the time
Okay,
because I think,
interesting.
well, I come from a marketing background, so I know that you should repeat your message all the time if you want it to land and people to hear it. And if I keep changing it all the time and I can never repeat the same thing, then my marketing wouldn't do very well.
Yes, good way to think of that.
And I would also would find it really easy to create content because I know what I'm talking about every single day. It'll take me 5 minutes. I just repost it.
Very true, very true. Heston, what would you say?
I gotta say, this is one of the hardest questions you've asked me, and I'm gonna go the opposite way. I think I would choose to continue posting different every day. I think I would go mad if I have to post the same thing. Now, granted, Michelle is absolutely right when it comes to marketing. You have to repeat your messaging. That is something that sometimes we forget as creators because we tend to think that every time we put out a piece of content, everybody sees it. That's not true. So it's good
Yep.
to repeat these things, but to to post the same thing every single day, I think I would go crazy. I'm I would have to post something different every day. I think I would have more fun doing that. Let's put it that way. I
Yeah.
would have more fun doing something that way.
That's true too. Yeah. I mean, it's a hard question because you know, like what Michelle said, you know, you got to repeat yourself. Plus, it's good to be known for something. Like I know which pages I'm going
That's true.
to for talking
Hmm.
head reels, for carousels, for quotes, for funny entertainment. Like I know who does the best in those, in my opinion, of what I enjoy. So
Yeah.
it's good to be known for that, but it's fun, right? We want to create different things. That's why we do what we do.
Mhm.
It's creative work, and it's a hard decision. I think I would choose the same every day, um, thinking that I would be able to find creative ways to make it a little different.
Different ways of
Okay.
saying the same thing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Yes. Well, thank you everyone for playing along. I know those were hard questions today. Even
Super
Hessen
hard.
came in with it. So you guys, great work.
Michelle is like, I don't remember the game being this difficult.
I know it wasn't this hard the last time.
Right.
Now I'm like, should
But
I
we like
start
to
an
have.
Instagram?
Well, we're definitely glad you're able to have some fun with us today on your second visit to the social roundtable. Ladies and gentlemen, we're pretty much done with our episode here today. Today, we spoke all about the 3 new Instagram updates that you need to know. We spoke about Friends Feed, Friends Map, and Repost, our personal feelings about it, how our own audience has responded to it, and a couple of strategies and ideas that you guys can take and learn from it and put into practice. Plus, I think overall, we're pretty much telling people go out there and experiment. Go in there and try it out. See if it works for you. If it doesn't, well, at least you tried it. You realize it doesn't work for you. You move on to the next feature. And we know Instagram has plenty of features. They release like 30 per hour sometimes. So there's always something new coming. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves during today's conversation all about these brand new features. As I get this here on the screen, I want to give Michelle a moment to talk about where you can find her. What is she up to? And I did not say this earlier, but if you are interested to join her on Instagram, you can find the link in the description right here on YouTube. You can find all of our links, so you can find that as well as I believe it was a stand store that you have. Is
Yes,
that right,
yeah,
Michelle? Yeah.
I do, yeah,
That
I
is
do.
also in the description as well. So if you guys want to check that out, also go ahead and check it out. Join Michelle and see what she has to offer for you. But I'm going to let you speak on it as well. So what are you up to, and where can the people find you?
Okay, so thank you again for having me. I've had an amazing time, lots to think about. But you will find me on Instagram. I'm only on Instagram. I find it easier to stick to one platform just now. And as Heston said, you'll get me at I am Michelle Stevenson. And I am really here to help you if you are growing and scaling your business using organic social media. So with your marketing strategies, sales strategies, content creation, all things fun and creative. But it's been amazing being here, and you can reach out. My DMs are always open if you have any questions.
Awesome, awesome. Well,
Awesome,
thank
awesome. And like I
you.
said, check out the links all in the bottom. I'm sorry to talk over you, Megan. Go ahead. You follow.
You're good. You're good. I was just going to say thank you so much for being here with us, Michelle. It's been such a pleasure, so much fun, and diving into these new updates and really finding those positives and negatives around them all, because there's a reason they came out, right? There had to be
Yeah.
something positive with going into it, and it's going to be interesting to see how people react and how it evolves as we continue to use them or not. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you
Amazing.
guys. Thank you for joining us. And we hope to see you guys next week. Same time, same hour, 12 p.m. Sorry, not next week. We're actually off
Oh
next
yeah,
week.
that's right.
We're off next week. Sorry. Rewind. Hope to see you guys in 2 weeks on Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we have a brand new guest and a brand new topic. So, once again, we are not on next week. I will announce that in the broadcast channel that you guys should join as well. All of the links are in the bottom where you can join us, whether it's on Instagram, YouTube, and elsewhere. But until then, guys, hope you guys have a great one. Enjoy the rest of the week and go out there and repost as many posts as you can of your own content. All right, guys, you ready?
Bye.
Ending out now. Bye, guys.
Bye.